The Galactic Council had deemed Earth too primitive for first contact. Humans were violent, short-lived, and hopelessly sentimental about the strangest things. But when the dimensional rift tore open above New Seattle, spilling refugees from 17 dying worlds into Earth's atmosphere, there was no time for protocol. Kevin was 8 years old when the sky split open and began raining aliens. His father worked at the processing center, one of hundreds hastily constructed to handle the influx. Most species kept to themselves, afraid of the strange bipeds who had somehow survived their toxic, death-world planet. The Chromoth, massive reptilian beings with scales like obsidian and wings that could blot out the sun, were particularly isolationist. They mourned their lost homeworld in silence, their children taught from hatching never to show weakness to outsiders. Kevin didn't know any of this. He only knew that the little dragon child, sitting alone in the corner of the playground, looked sad. She was smaller than the other Chromoth younglings, her scales a pale silver instead of the usual black or deep purple. Her name, Kevin would later learn, was Mia, or rather, the human approximation of the sound she made when introducing herself. In her clawed hands, she clutched the shattered remains of what looked like a crystal sphere, tears streaming down her scaled cheeks. The other human children gave her a wide berth. Their parents had warned them, "Don't approach the Chromoth. They're dangerous. They're not like us." Kevin's father had said something different. "Things break, Kevin," his father had told him one evening while repairing an old watch. "Doesn't mean they're worthless. Sometimes broken things deserve the most care, because nobody else will give it to them." So Kevin walked over, his small sneakers crunching on the gravel. Mia's head snapped up, her eyes brilliant gold with vertical pupils widening in fear. She clutched the broken toy closer, a low rumble building in her throat. A warning. Kevin sat down cross-legged in front of her, maintaining a respectful distance. "Can I see?" he asked, pointing to the broken sphere. Mia stared at him. In her culture, approaching a distressed child uninvited was a grave insult. Among her people, vulnerability was private, pain was hidden. Yet this small human sat there, had tilted with curiosity rather than pity, and his hands remained in his lap, non-threatening. Slowly, she extended her claws, showing him the pieces. It had been a memory keeper, a device that stored holographic recordings of her family, her world, everything she had lost when the black hole consumed Chromoth Prime. Now it was fragments. Kevin studied the pieces with the intense focus only a child can muster. "My dad fixes things," he said finally. "Want me to ask him?" "It cannot be fixed," Mia said, her voice a soft growl. Her grasp of human language was imperfect, but understandable. "Is ... broken? Like me? Like my world? My father says broken things deserve care," Kevin replied, his voice carrying the simple certainty of childhood wisdom. "You're not broken. You're here. That means you survived." Mia's golden eyes widened. In Chromoth culture, survivors carried shame they had lived while others died. But this human child spoke of survival as if it were strength, not weakness. Over the following weeks, something unprecedented happened. Kevin's father, a former engineer, worked on the memory keeper in his spare time. Kevin visited Mia every day after school, sitting with her in silence sometimes, other times talking about everything and nothing. He showed her his broken action figures, his patched backpack, his father's workshop full of things waiting to be healed. "Humans keep broken things," Mia asked one day, touching a clock with a cracked face. "We keep things that matter," Kevin corrected. "Things are broken. Doesn't mean they don't matter anymore," the other Chromoth noticed. They watched with confusion and growing curiosity as their youngest interacted with the human child. When Kevin's father finally returned the memory keeper, not perfectly restored, but functional, with visible seams where he'd carefully joined the pieces, the Chromoth community witnessed something their culture had never considered: honor in imperfection. The device activated, projecting holographic images of Mia's family, her world. But now the images flickered at the seams, glitched where the repairs showed through. To the Chromoth, it should have been shameful, but Mia held it like treasure. "The cracks show it was broken," she said to her parents in their language, which Kevin couldn't understand. "But the repairs show it was loved." That moment rippled outward. The Chromoth began to engage with humans, to accept their offers of help, to participate in the rebuilding efforts. They discovered that humans didn't just fix things, they fixed each other. Humans built hospitals for broken bodies, therapy programs for broken minds, support groups for broken hearts, an entire civilization built on the revolutionary idea that brokenness was not an ending, but a middle chapter. 20 years later, Ambassador Mia stood before the Galactic Council, her silver scales marked with intentional golden seams, a human custom she had adopted, kintsukuroi, the art of repairing with gold to make something more beautiful for having been broken. Earth should join the council, she declared, not despite their strange sentimentality, but because of it. They are the only species that truly understands what the rest of us are facing. We are all refugees now, all broken by what we have lost, and the humans, these strange, short-lived, wonderfully foolish humans, they know that broken things deserve care. In the audience, now grown and working as a humanitarian coordinator, Kevin smiled. His father had been right all along. The council voted unanimously for Earth's admission, not because humans were the strongest, or the smartest, or the most advanced, but because in a galaxy full of shattered worlds and traumatized survivors, humanity alone had built an entire civilization on a simple principle that had started with a little boy and a crying dragon child. Broken things deserve care, and every single being in that chamber, in that moment, felt a little less broken themselves.